Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. We're excited that you've joined us as we have a conversation.
It's time to join the conversation.
All right, welcome to another episode of Hardheaded. Already off to a good start. This is going to be a good show today. Hey, I just want to let you know we're missing somebody today, but we got a...
I wouldn't say missing.
We got
somebody's not here.
We got a fantastic, fantastic guest filling in his shoes. He's been on the show before.
Shoes.
You like that? Yeah. No pun intended. Actually, a lot of pun intended. But yeah, Chris Broughton is with us today. Chris, welcome.
Thank you.
Chris is in our hosting bullpen.
That's right.
And we made the call just like 3 or 4 days ago and said, warm up.
Yeah.
And here he is.
Yep. So here's Chris. I'm Troy, your host tonight, and sitting right next to me is Mr. Chet Sears. Welcome, sir.
Yeah. And Matt is away with his family on a vacation/national ice skating competition that Matt's daughter's in, not to be confused with Matt being in the ice skating competition.
Yeah.
Matt's daughter's there.
Yeah. So we got a great show planned for you tonight. We're not talking about parenting anymore. I should have started with that. Don't stop listening. We're not going to talk about parenting anymore. Tonight we're going to talk about the Olympics and what's going on there, and then we're going to do a top three things you can't live without after you turn 40. Top 3 things you can't live without. So, but to kick us off, man, Chet, tell us about the Olympics. What's been happening?
We're recording this after a little over a week of the Olympics, and we had some fireworks right out of the gate with opening ceremonies.
Yeah,
a lot of consternation around the depiction of some blue Greek god on the table of the Last Supper. The Last Supper setting, which the people at the table were non-normal. They're not. They were all unique in different ways.
Yes,
covering a spectrum of including a child. By the way, I don't know if you know this. And then there was a kid that was involved in this.
Like a trans kid?
No, just a normal kid with all the others around. And then the other thing that didn't make a whole lot of news, but they pulled the video. I don't know if you guys know this. So the official Olympics organization pulled the video from their social media after all of the outrage. But digging into it a little bit further, it was because one of the people had a testicle
showing. Yeah, I heard about that.
Like, out of the bottom of his hot pants shorts.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Did he later compete in the pole vault for France?
No, and I'm sick of seeing that video too. By the way.
Oh man,
that's just too much. He had already knocked the pole over. By the way, the bar had already been knocked off, and he hit it again.
Oh my gosh.
We've already talked enough about that. But anyway. I think the thing that upset me the most, I am not shocked one bit that Christianity is made fun of.
No.
So no, oh, I can't believe it. Clutch my pearls. This is what we should expect. This is what has always happened. It used to be worse than this. If you go back thousands of years, they were killing us as Christians.
Yeah.
So not that big a deal. The one thing that did upset me, though, is a lot of my more liberal friends were all like, you stupid Americans don't know that was a Greek god and then this and that and the other. And your stupid outrage is because you're ignorant to art and history and whatever else. But the reality is the whole world got upset about it. Like the churches in France protested. And so I'm like, get off your high horse trying to say that everybody in America is dumb. And it's okay that people get upset. I didn't watch that part of it. I tuned in later, and there was some pretty cool stuff in the opening ceremony, but none of that. It was more the boats going down the sewage canal with all the athletes on it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and the laser light show from the Eiffel Tower.
Well, Chet, so have you seen a definitive statement from the trans Olympic whoever's, that it was a Last Supper parody?
Yes.
Or it was, you have.
I will
Olympic
share that. I
people
will
say
speak
we
on
did
Matt's
the Last
behalf.
Supper.
I was arguing with Matt about this, and Matt said something.
Yeah, really good write up that his friend posted on Facebook.
It may take me a little while though, because we talk a lot.
I mean, because you will change my perspective if you provide proof of that.
Give me
But
your perspective before
'cause
that.
I didn't watch it yet. Yeah, I hadn't watched minute one of the Olympics. I've only seen clips of the pole vaulter, of Katie Ledecky, and a couple other things, and the shooter, the John Wick shooter guy. But if I didn't know anything and I was just on a jury and they're like, one side was trying to prove it was the Dionysus whatever, and one side was trying to prove it was Last Supper. Like, I don't know if the Last Supper's not going to win because he's clearly a Dionysus guy.
The name of the sequence, according to the choreographer,
the artist
was it's a French name, right? But it translates as, quote, "The Last Supper on the stage of the River Seine," like the Seine River, however you pronounce that.
Well, that definitely,
And the Last Supper is also the S is CENE in French, so it's la scène sur la scène sur la scène. Like there's the scene of the Last Supper on the River Seine. It's a play on words as well in the French language, but it says the Last Supper. Like it's there.
Okay, until now,
Thomas Jolly is the gentleman's name.
Who?
Thomas Jolly.
Shocker.
And he said, when asked specifically whether he had any views on why Christians might be offended about the segment, he wanted to convey that in France, quote, "we have a right to not be worshipers," end quote. He did not say, quote, "you're mistaken," because it wasn't the Last Supper. So he called it the Last Supper, and they're like, "Don't you know that this would be offensive to Christians?" And his response was, "We have a right in France not to worship God." So he's not running from it. If anything, he's perpetrating it.
Yeah.
Okay, well then he sucks.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But Chet, I don't know why Christians continue to expect the world to love and respect God.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
And it gives us a false sense of reality if everybody placated to Christians because they don't want to get Christians offended. Like that's not real. People don't care about Christians. People are adversarial towards Christians. Might as well be out in the public view. That's how it is. Now, the Christians don't respond by getting our machetes and going around and chopping people up, which other religions are doing right now.
Right.
When they get offended. But anyway.
Tell you what, that's a good argument that Jesus is really real, because that's what's keeping me from doing stuff like that.
Yeah. Chopping people's
I'm
heads
just
off.
saying, if God wasn't real, I'd probably be a
sniper.
He'd be crazy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'd be handling a lot of problems.
We got all the Olympics, and we're just talking about the opening ceremony. I can't talk.
So what else have you seen from the Olympics other than that?
So the boxer, you guys know about the boxer?
I have a similar view on that. I mean, everybody just jumped on her for being a man. And I'm like, first of all, Christians especially, right-wing people, they love to just, the first person to post the outrageous meme or whatever, and then everybody loves to share, I can't believe it. It's,
Yep.
If she's a man, it's a man, whatever, then yes, it's wrong. But I mean, I need evidence before I'm going to tell that person that they're, it's wrong. I mean, it's not like Leah Thomas where we know. They used to be like,
Yeah.
Peter Thomas or whatever. It's, I mean, they saying that the reason she failed the other test was because she had some kind of syndrome, but I mean, she has the parts and is a woman, was born a woman. Now, it could be not true, but I don't have any evidence that it isn't true.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and call that gal a man until I really know. And so I just think people need to chill on that kind of stuff.
The
Women have beaten her.
The right wing response to that was quicker than the media getting on the Harris bandwagon. Like, it was so fast.
It took hours for everything.
Yeah, but so digging into this a little bit more, and here's the with social media, I think expediency is a big value, and accuracy's gone out the window. So this person has an XY chromosome, according to a medical issue that was identified at birth, was not born with male genitalia as far as we know, and her whole life has been a girl, like dressed as a girl, pink, ponytails, the whole thing. Now, the XY chromosome deal allows for a massive amount of naturally produced testosterone, is my understanding. And that allows a competitive advantage. And in some cases, some sports choose to measure testosterone as a way to say, are you going to be at an advantage versus a woman or not? And in this case, that wasn't part of the deal. That my understanding. So anyway, jump to conclusions and make a big deal out of it. And I honestly, I think in some cases, if you have medical conditions, you shouldn't be operating in a sporting event where you're given an advantage. I don't think this is not the trans community is the devil issue that everybody made it out to be at the outset of it.
Right. I mean, she passes the Crocodile Dundee test. She's good.
Yeah. So, Turkish shooter, you mentioned that.
That's good.
Oh yeah,
That's
that dude.
funny.
I just saw the memes, and I mean, I think the Pulp Fiction one was my favorite.
Well, did you know that this was this guy's won a gold before in the Olympics? And at that, I think it was the last Olympics. He didn't even wear safety glasses in that one. Wasn't wearing, he had eyeglasses on in this one. But he was in mixed doubles. And the woman that shot with him, same style, which is pretty awesome. So both Turkish shooters were just like, I'm going out for a weekend plinking shoot, and I'm going to medal in this event.
That's awesome.
Which I think is cool. My favorite meme that I saw, it was, it was a picture of him and then a picture of one of the rifle shooters that wears the weighted vests with all the mechanical arms, and they do the leaning over. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. They contort themselves, and they had the glasses with the fog and the crosshairs and the eyepiece and all that other kind of stuff. And for that picture, it said Lawrence, and then it had the Turkish shooters at Manhattan, which is the KU versus K-State.
Nice.
So I was a fan of that meme that came out. Another thing has been on my mind. Well, let's talk. Speaking of awesome performances, Scotty Scheffler. So, awesome golfer at the moment. Broughton, do you know anything about this? This dude was.
I saw did he win the gold? I didn't know that Olympic golf was a thing still.
This is the second year. It was the last Olympics, the second Olympics. The last Olympics was the first time that they had let the pro golfers come in and golf be a thing.
I don't think golf should be Olympic. Come on.
I think it should.
It needs to be something you can do right there in the stadium, and people can cheer.
But dude,
I mean, track and field, not that.
Well, golf, don't they play all the time, all around the world, all together anyway?
Yeah, I mean.
But you don't get to play for your country other than the Ryder Cup, but that's just against Europe. So here's the thing. The dude was 4 shots back when they started the final round at the turn, so 9 holes in, still 4 shots back. He goes on to shoot a 29 on the back 9, ties the course record, and wins the gold medal. And just so you know, if you don't know Scotty Scheffler, the dude's had a great 2024 so far.
Is that the guy that got arrested?
Yes. And one of the tweets by Kyle Robbins that I had sent to me said Scotty Scheffler has either won a golf tournament, produced a child, he had a baby, or been arrested for felonious assault by a police officer in 7 of the last 12 weeks. So the dude is like winning golf tournaments left and right, having babies and getting arrested. And so it's been a pretty active last 12 weeks for Scotty Scheffler. He won the Masters again. He's dominating. He won the Players. He's just dominating, and it's pretty awesome. And if you watch, he gets choked up listening to the national anthem. And I don't know if you've seen that, Broughton. If you did, you would say that golf needs to be in. That's because it's a very patriotic moment. He mentions that there's typically a routine after you finish a professional golf tournament, going into the scorer's house and doing all the stuff, and you've got a moment to collect yourself. And he was like, the way this goes, you don't. And so he said it all just hit him when he was up there on the podium, which is, I think, is cool. But on to sports that are dumb being in the Olympics.
This is going to be a great segment.
So Broughton says golf. Did you know that breakdancing is in the Olympics this year?
Oh my gosh,
stupid.
that's so dumb.
That. Any of those X Games being in is stupid.
But they don't call it breakdancing; they call it breaking.
Even dumber.
Then they have skateboarding, and then they have surfing. So the surfing was not even in France; it was in French Polynesia.
Of course.
They have sport climbing, where they rock climb, like at the Y, like who can get to the top the fastest.
It's like a race.
I mean, that's better than that's better than breakdancing.
Breakdancing's dumb. I could see surfing and skateboarding.
I don't think surfing.
Not
No, 'cause
breakdancing.
You can't have the surfing sucks. You can't have the Norwegian surfing team.
3-on-3 basketball is an Olympic sport.
Just 3-on-3.
Don't
Yeah.
they have regular basketball?
Yes, they're expanding the basketball.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
can you cross over? And
Why do
just
we
send
need
like
more?
LeBron, Steph, and Durant?
No, they had oh shoot, why can't I remember his name? I can't remember. Some dude, he was really good in the NCAA, and he played a little bit of pro ball, and he was like the Jimmy Fredette. Does that sound right?
Nah, never.
I wouldn't know if you said it.
And then race walking is the thing. The walking, speed walking, is an event in the Olympics, and there's some other crazy ones. But my deal,
Race walking. Have you seen that guy on
there's a Malcolm in the Middle episode about
Instagram, or he's got millions of followers, but all he does is run, and he does all everyday things really fast, and then he does different sprints of different people,
like cleaning up his house or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
incredible.
I think if an Olympic sport has to be judged, it should be done away with. I'm of that opinion.
So you're out with gymnastics?
Yeah, gone.
Man,
Figure skating, gone.
I mean, those are classic Olympic sports. I mean,
I don't care.
yeah, they are classic. So you're thinking just opponents?
Yes.
I mean, Mary Lou Retton. You ain't getting rid of Mary Lou Retton.
Look,
Sorry. You're
I'm
out.
not saying let's erase the past. I'm not saying erase the past, but let's just take a different course for the future.
I mean, we got the Olympic skater lives in Shreveport, so no, we're not. They're not outing her legacy.
I'm not saying the legacy's gone. I'm just saying, just like they add things, I think they need to take away, and they need to take away the judging, because you know if you're from South Sudan in the gymnastics, you're going to get a bad score.
Yeah, I mean,
If you're from Estonia, you're not going to win. I'm sorry, they're just not going to give it to you, and you got to take that away. If you're the fastest person alive and you line up for that 100-meter, sprint, and you're from Timbuktu, it doesn't matter. Everybody knows you won.
or if you're the beastliest female swimmer by 10 seconds.
Who was that?
Like Ledecky,
Ledecky?
she won that 1,500 meter or whatever by she lapped them multiple laps.
That's awesome.
I mean, she's like the best American athlete there is right now.
I don't know about
Dead or
that.
alive.
Huh? Scotty Scheffler.
Nah, but definitely won like more medals than any other woman in history now.
Without going to jail.
A golfer can only win one medal.
She didn't go to jail though.
Yeah, that's right. He's got
Win
stress.
the Ryder Cup. You know what? Olympic golf. Win the Ryder Cup and quit embarrassing us.
Yeah, I think they're going to win the Ryder Cup this year or next year because they went a different route with the coaching. Well, that's a different episode though. And then, so we're recording this the day of the 200 meter. And did you guys watch the 100 meter dash last night?
No.
I heard like the same American won it all.
Well, he probably ran it already. I hadn't checked it because, they're ahead of our time zone. Did you just ruin it?
I don't know. Dude, by the time this is shown,
Oh, did you just ruin it for
the
Chet?
election's going to be over.
You just ruined it.
The election.
You just ruined it.
What's the medal count? China has got more golds than us by one.
Yeah.
We're dominating overall medals.
Troy, what do you think? Should it be total medals or total golds?
I go with total golds.
Yeah.
Well, China's got 21 golds to our 20, but we have 78 total medals to their 53.
I think it ought to be.
We're almost there in everything.
I think there ought to be a formula
For an average.
how many golds per entrance that you have in a sport.
Oh, like a ratio.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that would be the most accurate way to say you're dominating. I think we get to dominate because we just have a whole bunch of athletes.
Or you could say like, I don't know, 5 silvers equals a gold, 10 bronze equals a gold.
Like a point system?
Yeah, like a point system. I don't know.
But based on entrance, you factor it all in. I think we could draw this up and have our own composite. It could be the Hardheaded Olympics composite score.
And let's present it to the Olympic board.
Now we just go our own way. So this dude Noah Lyles, it was phenomenal because I definitely have to say every male sprinter that I've ever been a fan of has always been a trash talker. Like they think they're the baddest. They're what Michael Johnson was that way. Carl Lewis was that way. Well, this guy's like that big time. And Noah Lyles. And they started. I'd never watched a race this year. I don't know. They're just like, this guy's he's got the goods. Well, at 40 meters, he's dead last. Like he's behind everybody. And then next thing you know, he's not. And then at the finish, nobody could call it. Like it was way too close. And so that, it was like, yeah, it was a great finish. We're going to have to wait for and ended up, he came out, photo finish. He won. And he was pretty humble talking to the other guy. There's a guy from Jamaica. And so he hugged him. He's like, man, you think you got me? And I've been humbled. And then they put the official release out that he won. And then he went right back to, I told you I got this. It's kind of funny. But anyway, he's supposed to run the 200 today. And he's better in the 200 because he gets out of the block slower than everybody else. But apparently he I'm going to check and see if he won. That's the problem with the Olympics being in different countries is the time zones.
Yeah, especially if it's a sucky country like France. They should have like Olympic war games, like put SEAL Team 5 and some Chinese force out there in the Ardennes forest, and then see who comes out on top with some kind of rubber bullet laser tag scenario.
Speaking of SEAL Team 5, did you know flag football is in the Olympics next year?
Flag football?
Yeah.
So if we don't win it, did you hear about like not too long ago, like there's like a junior Olympic tackle football and Japan beat America like 50-20?
What?
So
say this again. What happened?
Let me find it.
Japan beat
Okay, so
the
it
USA.
is national disaster. Japan beats Team USA national football team.
When?
The score of 41-20. Team USA inexplicably loses to Japan in American football. There might be no other sport that the U.S. is better at than American football, blah, 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 blah.
Except against Japan.
It was in Canada.
Did
Team
they?
Japan took down Team USA.
Did we not know the day of the game and they surprise football played us? Like they just came and started. We were just sitting in our boats in the bay,
And they
in the
came
harbor,
and started
they just
shooting.
came and started throwing footballs around, and then they said they won.
It's the World Cup of under 20 American football. So they're kids. You can't. International Federation of American Football under 20 World Cup. And Americans have won it every year until, well, they won it 09, 14, 09, 12. Oh, no, Canada has won it 3 times.
Oh, geez.
Americans only won it twice, and Japan has knocked the U.S. out of this tournament.
In this year, 24?
Yeah.
Dude, the Biden presidency has been an utter failure on all fronts.
It has. It has. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe that. You know what? We can't say that they're world champions in the NFL if we're losing to other countries in under 20 leagues.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Who knows? All right, that's Chet's Olympics update there.
I like it. Thank you, Chet.
I saw one other note. Like Team Paraguay had to send a swimmer home because like she was too hot, like distracting the other team member.
Are you sure she wasn't misbehaving?
Well, she could have been misbehaving, but she got disqualified. Like she didn't make the. Anyway, she was ineligible to compete anymore. She didn't make the whatever. You know, her time wasn't good enough. But normally the athletes that don't qualify to make the finals or whatever can stick around the village.
Yeah.
But she was posting a lot of seductive tweets, selfies, and the coach is like, "No, you gotta go back to Paraguay now." She was distracting the team.
Oh man.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do to stay focused and win some medals.
That's
Yeah.
right. Well, thanks for that, Chris. Now we're going to move on to our top 3. This is the top 3 things you can't live without after you turn 40. We're all past that age, so
Barely.
Here we go. Barely. Chet, why don't you go first?
Number 3, solitude. I get more and more aggravated with people. And if I've been around people for a lot, I got to get away.
That's a really
And
good
I
one.
cannot live without some solitude the older I get. So it's probably going to get worse as I age. Number 2, ibuprofen. I'm very good friends with my buddy Advil.
Yep. That's a good one.
After certain things.
I never buy the name brand though.
No, me either. I got I get the Sam's 2-pack of the 1,000, 2,000, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah. Got to stock up on that.
And then number 1, this is like being a little vulnerable here because this is like I'm starting to become a wuss. Because I like, if you have to have like noise to sleep and all this other kind of stuff, I'm like, you're weak. But I'm to the point now, if it's hot in the room that I need to sleep in, I'm in trouble. I have to have air conditioning at night, like or a cool room. And my travels with work send me to places that either have inferior air conditioning or no air conditioning, and it's a problem. Like
Ice packs.
I'm weak. You don't want to put any of the water that you get anywhere near you where I go. Like
No, I just travel with some of those. Do you have a freezer?
no. There's
have
not,
like a
not
little-
many of the accoutrements that you're used to using are not. They don't exist
Anywhere.
elsewhere in the world. Yeah. So anyway, I suck in a hot environment at night. Like I need something. And air conditioning is bad. Like I this last time I went to Europe, I intentionally went to a hotel that was harder to stay in because the air conditioner was better than where the easy place to go was. Like, cause I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I can't do it anymore. I'm old. I'm older than 40 and I need some air conditioning at night.
Nice.
So that's my top 3.
All right. Top 3 for me. Number 3 for me is an adjustable bed.
What?
an adjustable bed.
You can't live without it.
Can't live without it. Every time I have to go stay somewhere and I have to sleep flat, my bed or my back, the second day or third day in, is all jacked up.
So, like if I say, hey, Troy, why don't you and Hannah go on a cruise with me and Ashley? 7 nights in Barbados. You're going to be like, I can't take it. I got to have an adjustable bed. I'm sorry. I'm going to be no good.
No, I'll do trips like that, but I have to have a lot of pillows.
Yeah?
Because I just make to where it's like.
Okay.
So you need the angle?
I need the angle, and I need my feet up a little bit, and I need my back up a little bit. So I kind of sleep like this.
So you snore then if you're on your back?
My wife has told me that, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But the more weight I lose, the less I snore. I've learned that too.
Okay.
Been putting some pounds back on though, so I don't know.
Eating all the hot wings.
That's right. Number 2, ice packs. That's what I was alluding to during your top 3. Again, it's with the back.
Yeah.
If I have some pain somewhere, ice pack is always just makes it go away.
Yeah. You like lay on it?
Lay on it or
Does it
sit
make the
up
bed
on
wet?
it. No, we have those blue ones that you can buy.
Yeah.
You just throw them in the freezer and they're all ready there for you.
Okay.
We got a stack of them in our freezer. And then number 1, I cannot live without this thing. Breathe Right nose strips. Can't sleep without them. Like you have to have air conditioner. I have to have my nasal passages opened for sleep.
You got like you have to carry stuff with you. Like if we're gonna go on a weekend away, you're gonna be like, well, let me make sure I have my Breathe Rights and let me get my ice packs and let me all.
No, I mean I can tough it out without the ice packs in the bed, but the Breathe Rights
Gotta have them.
Gotta have them.
You have them like in your car. You have like a stash of Breathe Rights everywhere.
No, I have some stashed in my doc kit, which I bring everywhere I go.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't sleep without them. Miserable.
All right.
Chris, what do you think? What about your top 3?
All right, I have. It's really like 4 because I've been influenced by this list.
Yes.
But this is really just a throw in. I as I've gotten older, I've got to have like automobile luxuries. Like I've got to have.
Nice.
I can't go back to a non-wireless charging and non-air conditioned seats and all that. I can never not have. I just got to have it.
So it's everything that comes like it has to be the air conditioned seats.
I mean,
They are nice.
If I have to have, like a couple times I've rented a car that didn't have the features that I've had over the last couple of vehicles, and I just.
And that's wireless charging, air conditioned seats. What else?
I mean, just
Apple CarPlay?
power seats. I don't need to be reaching for a lever and sliding around like I'm on a mechanical bull. Yeah, that's for young people.
Yes.
That's for people that help their friends move for pizza. No, you're over 40. Call a mover. Don't call me. I mean, that's a stupid one. That's really more of an honorable mention. The other one is right along there with you, and it's not going to be number 1, but it's number 2, I guess, is Troy, you were touching all around this, is the CPAP. I resisted for a long time.
Yeah.
But now I have to have the CPAP. I mean, if I can sleep without it, but it's fitful and, just.
So you're a stomach sleeper, or you were.
Yeah, and now I'm more kind of a.
For those that don't know, Broughton and I were roommates for a time.
Yes. So I couldn't do the full like Top Gun pilot face mask because it was over your mouth and you can't lay on that in the mattress. You could, if you're a stomach sleeper, a lot of face down, which is the way I tended to do. So now I've got the ones that are just like the nasal pillow,
Okay, I did not
know.
know.
Like if you're in the hospital, oxygen.
Yeah, yeah. Oxygen
more
thing.
pillowy.
Cannula. That's called a cannula.
Yeah, but this, okay, you're right. But this is called like a nasal pillow.
Okay.
So I don't need breathe right strips because that thing's shooting air up your nose, you know?
Yeah.
Your nasal patches are going to stay open.
Now, do you like the hum of the compressor?
Well, that's the thing. If you just turn on the CPAP and you're not using it, you just, it's like blowing air. It's like an air hose, you know?
Yeah.
But when you put it on, you don't hear it. The noise is gone. Like you don't hear.
Oh,
it.
okay.
So it's really hard. You don't hardly hear anything. And it's like you plug a leak in a hose. You don't hear it anymore. You know.
Yeah.
And another thing that but you know, as my former roommate, you know, I can be a bit of a mouth breather, especially when I'm sleeping.
Uh-huh.
You know how it is.
Yeah,
right? And that interferes.
I do that when I'm on my back. Yeah.
The nose, breathing through the nose helps stop that. But I've noticed that sometimes if you breathe, the air will, it's not a sealed system if your mouth opens, which mine does sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I started Googling around and they have this like mouth tape. And I was like, listen, mouth tape. It's like $20 for 20 tape, $1 a night? What? And I was like, I don't know. And then so I'm doing a little more Googling. And of course, guys like us are on there. You can just get 3M micropore tape. It's the same stuff.
Right.
I'm like, really? And it's like $1 a roll. So I ordered some of that last week. So last night was my second night just tearing this basically masking tape.
Yeah.
And it helps keep the mouth closed. But once you tape it up, you're committed to the nose breathe.
Yeah.
Although, it's not a total thing. So you still, breathe up the side of your mouth or whatever. If you really
you don't feel like boxed in?
No.
Yeah.
Claustrophobic?
But the last 2 nights I've had like a little masking tape over my mouth. And it's worked. But I'll say when you peel it off in the morning, it's a little stickier than I anticipated.
Have you been dominating at work? Like, have you dominated your life since this has happened?
Well, it's only been 2 days.
Well, I mean, maybe, I don't know what I could do off a really good night's sleep.
Well, I mean, today was, I don't know. I haven't been sleepy today, and then yesterday I did take a nap, but.
It's Sunday. That's what you do on Sundays. That's right.
I kind of got up and did some stuff and,
That's awesome, dude.
But anyway, so just CPAP. And I just threw in the mouth tape story.
Well, I'm a big fan of the nose cannula that you're talking about because I worked for people that were on the CPAP that had the Top Gun mask. And when you come to work with lines all over your face, I honestly don't pay attention to you much.
I didn't know that they left. And also, I don't see how with the face mask you can get a good seal with the beard. And so I wanted a beard-friendly
solution.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was I'm going to put AC in solitude. So really, solitude in the AC is not enough. I need silence and cool silence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's a good top 3.
That's good.
All right. Well, I'm going to finish this out with a top. A good word.
Good word. Let's do it.
As soon as I find it. Good gracious.
Troy, you can also get like a foam wedge.
Oh yeah.
Carry with you. I have one of those.
The pillows, the big pillows with the armrests. You know what those are called?
Oh yeah, I used to have one of those.
You know what those are called?
No.
Husbands.
Oh, I think we've talked about this before.
See, that's what you could travel with a husband, Troy, when you go and there's not a reclining bed.
I'd fit right into this world.
So along the, they maybe ask you to be in the Olympics, the opening ceremony. Now, along with the Olympic theme, we look at Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, saying, verse 24, "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Therefore, do not run like someone running aimlessly. I do not fight like a boxer beating the air. No, I strike a blow to my body, and I make it my slave, so that after I've preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize." I think this is really important for us because a lot of times, if you look at these Olympic athletes, they're training for most cases 4 years unless COVID comes into play. But they discipline themselves so that they could perform at a given time. And a lot of times I think we want to, as Christians, we want to have the right words to say to that friend that's in need or that person that's asking about Christ. You don't want to be caught off guard, but we also don't train ourselves. So it's like showing up at the Olympics and thinking that we're going to win this race, even though I haven't done any training. And I think what Paul's saying here is, number one, if you're in the race, run to win it, like give it all you've got, but also go into strict training. And I think as Christians, we a lot of times leave out the strict training and say, well, I'm just going to pray to perform well. And he's telling us not to do that in this case. You should train very hard and you should compete very hard.
It's good. Good word.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Chris, for coming on the show, filling in for Matt. And thanks, everybody, for listening. Hope you liked that we're back on our regular scheduled programming. If you liked it, please share it with others. That helps us out. Leave a comment. Leave us a 5-star review. That really helps our podcast get out there so others can listen to it. And we hope to have you back next week. Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.